Hello, church. Hope all is well with you. Um, little Eliza and I are going to be bringing your Devo today. And yes, this might be clickbait. I might be using her as clickbait. That's okay. She's cute, so maybe it'll work. But no, for the next several weeks, these Devo series that we've been doing on Facebook, they're either going to be the staff's favorite Psalms or an introduction with Kurt and just thoughts with Kurt. Let you guys get to know him a little bit. And this morning, I want to share with you a little bit of my heart behind Psalm 62. This has been a psalm that's been part of my testimony for a long time. A continual theme throughout my personal walk with Jesus has always been trust in the Lord. There have been different situations where life has just happened, whether it be death in the family or financial struggles during college or XYZ. And a common thing that I've had to remember is trust in the Lord. Perhaps this has already been talked about. I believe Ben talked about this as well. And that might just be a thing that we're going to continually hit in the Psalms. It is a common theme in the Psalms where we talk about God being our rock, our refuge, our foundation. But if you will, go ahead and pause this video real quick. And I want you to read all of Psalm 62. It's only 12 verses. And then we'll get back together once you're done. I hope you read it. If you didn't, that was a super awkward transition. That's okay. A couple of things I want to point out, though. I'm going to read the first two verses. It says this: "For God alone my soul waits in silence. From him comes my salvation." For God alone my soul waits. There's a period of waiting when it comes to trust. And I think that's okay. Oftentimes when we're waiting in silence, when we feel like we don't hear anything, we're like, well, he must be gone. Well, no, he's still there. But oftentimes he calls us to wait for whatever reason. Maybe it's to help us grow in faith. Maybe it could be for a slew of reasons. But the encouragement I see just from that first verse is waiting is an okay thing when it comes to our relationship with God and when it comes to things that we might not understand where he's asking us to trust. And then comes the second part in verse 2, which really rocked me when I was an early Christian and even rocks me now sometimes. "He alone is my rock and my salvation, my fortress. I shall not be greatly shaken." I don't know about you, but there are many things in life that I feel like can greatly shake us, whether it be family, whether it be job situations, or whether it just be life situations. You can fill in the blank. I'm sure you've had them. Life tends to greatly shake us. But here I read that there's a possibility where we don't have to be greatly shaken. And I think to myself, well, why? Well, it all comes down to what's your foundation? Who is your rock? Who is your foundation? We talked about it in youth group last week. Oftentimes we put our trust and our hope and we become rooted in man or the things of man. That comes from Jeremiah 17. And what I see here is that man is not the answer when it comes to our foundation, when it comes to being rooted in our trust in the Lord. Man cannot be the foundation because man will ultimately crumble. The things of man, whether it be distraction or XYZ, the things of man, when the worries of life come and when things seem like they can greatly shake us, the things of man cannot be our foundation during those times, because if they are, we will be greatly shaken and our foundation will crumble. But what I see here is the psalmist saying, actually, God alone is my rock and my salvation, my fortress. Because of that, I won't be greatly shaken. There's a bunch of different verses in here that I could talk about, but really those two, and then you could look at verse 8, and then you can also look at verse 12. Those verses really kind of, I think, sum up the gist of what the psalmist is getting at. And you can read through and you can see how he's in a situation where he's fearing for his life and different things like that, and enemies sort of surrounding him and things like that. But really the challenge is simple. One, I want you to read that psalm and pray that God would encourage your soul through that. But two, whether you've had it, whether you're in it, or whether it will come, what are the things that might be shaking your life right now? or have the potential to shake your life right now? Is it a job situation? Is it a health situation? Is it a faith situation? Is it a family situation? And in those moments, the temptation might be to put your trust and hope in man. May I challenge you? Let your foundation, let your rootedness, let your hope and your faith alone be in God. I hope that's been an encouragement to you guys. It surely has been for me throughout my life and my faith walk. I love you all. Eliza loves you all. She's asleep. We'll talk to you later. Bye.